John, I think it's fabulous. Self-made guy, creates a business, employs loads of people, does good, and gets financially rewarded for it. Am I wrong?
You should pay tax. You should pay much more tax. And it is obscene to have one individual being paid that amount of money, paying themselves that amount of money.
Why?
Because we're in the middle of a cost of living crisis where nurses are going to food banks. Nurses have to go to food banks.
I've got to pull you up on this.
Somebody's paying themselves £1.6 million a day.
Right. First things first.
How long does a nurse have to work to earn 1.6? What he earns in a day?
But why are you comparing?
Decades.
Why are you comparing a nurse?
Because we live in a society together.
Yes, but a nurse someone who's chosen to be a nurse. My mum and sister, by the way, as examples, are NHS nurses. My mum and sister have chosen that career path, knowing full well that they're never going to be, wealthy billionaires as a result of their chosen career path. That's not what they're in it for. They're in it for the vocation and for the giving back and the helping others. Brilliant. I admire them. What has that got to do? They didn't choose a vocation to have
their noses rubbed in it by somebody paying themselves £1.6 million a year. And
are you jealous of it?
I'm paying lower taxes
than
anybody will pay on their earnings.
£500 million?
No. I'm quite happy for people to earn money and to make money, but I think they should pay higher rates of tax on it, that's all.
How much higher?
I would say, let's have a super tax.
What,
on this kind of earning.
How much?
Of 60.
You want him to pay 60% of his earnings?
Yeah.
Really? And so what do you think he's going to do? Do you reckon he's going to stay and pay 60% tax in this country, or do you reckon he's going to establish himself in a country that he doesn't have to pay 60% of his earnings?
He can go to Monaco if he wants.
So then you'll get zero?
Yeah.
And then what?
But we have to show our values, and it cannot be right that somebody earns in a day what a nurse would take decades to earn.
I find this... I mean, you are a financier. That's how I introduced you. I find, no offence, John, a very smart guy, but I find his comparison between this entrepreneur and nurses ridiculous. Where do you stand on that?
Well, look, I think John alludes to an important point, which is the fact that there is growing inequality in this country. And it's something that I've been worried about, Michelle, as you know, we've discussed it before. I'm a capitalist, but I just think the capitalist system is not working for everyone. It hasn't been working properly for a very long time. You look at real wages in the past 10 years, they've been falling. You look at a situation now where 1% of the people in this country have got 13% of all the income. The top 10% have 44% of all the wealth. That is not a healthy position for a society to be in. Now, what do? One is we have to give proper educational opportunities to people to skill and take on people and get the best education they can to go and earn, if they want to, millions and billions. That's one thing. But I do think that if you've got a situation where you've got 177 billionaires in the country that increased their wealth by 10% in the last couple of years during COVID, something's going wrong somewhere when other people are suffering, right? So I do think redistribution is part of the answer. Now, that's not very fashionable on the centre-right, right, where I traditionally come from. But I think it's an important conversation to have because, and this is where I agree with John, tax is part of the answer, right? I do think tax is part of that. If I had been in charge, which, again, I'm not, sorry, there's a common theme here, I would have increased tax.
I'd vote for you, Alex.
I would have increased tax on people earning greater than 150,000 to 50%, right? I think, given where we are, given we've got 400 billion of borrowing on the back of COVID, we've got 2.7 trillion of public debt here, and we've got 7 million people on waiting lists. The systems are creaking. Why are we having general strikes?
I'm not having this. You saying, you're both saying, I want to bang your heads together, quite frankly.
But I love entrepreneurs.
Maria has emailed in saying, Michelle, I normally agree with you on everything, but on this, you're completely wrong. She agrees with both of you. Maria says there's one word here, and that is greed. You write it in capitals. You feel that strongly about it, Maria. But I just don't buy into this notion of, let's tax the wealth more, tax the wealth more. You say about...
Well, what do you want to tax? Tax the poor?
Well, no, I think that the wealthy already pay huge amounts of tax. You talk about, should I say, people earning over £150,000 per annum. You want to take half of their wages off them.
On the top end, exactly.
So anything plus 150. But those people earning plus 150, they've already had such a big burden compared to the lower earners. So, for example, they have no personal allowance, they have no free childcare, they have no, whatever personal
no child
savings.
benefit.
No, I don't mean child benefit. I mean
but they lose child benefit.
Yeah, so you get no child benefit. You get no 30 hours free childcare. So you already do pay over and above your share. You pay the highest rate, so your 45p rate. And I just don't buy into this notion of squeezing them high.
Sorry, John.
I think you're jealous.
Sorry, John, you go. I've got another point to make about that.
No, it's just that if this billionaire paid 50% tax, he would still be earning £800,000 a year.
But just to be clear...
And a classroom teacher or a nurse would take 30 years to earn that much.
Yeah, but you look, Cristiano... Let's just get real here. It's not just entrepreneurs. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, I'm not saying he's not worth 172 million that he signed a deal with Saudi Arabia over whatever each year. The point is this also, Michelle. We should be equalising the tax base. What does that mean? That means that people who earn money like this in dividends should pay an effective same tax rate as someone who's working a normal job earning 150 grand.
Exactly.
At the moment, the tax rate on dividends is a lot lower than the 45p top rate of tax. Same for capital gains. So if you're a private equity person earning a lot of money and you're very successful, great. I love private equity people. They do a lot of good work. They earn returns. They absolutely should. They take risk. But we should be taxing them in a similar way to people earning income tax.
So you want to take money. So at the moment, as you say, you've got income tax, got capital gains tax.
Yeah.
So people that are making capital gains, more often than not, they're taking taxed money, so net money, so money that they've earned, let's say as income perhaps, they've paid income tax on, so this is taxed money, and then they're investing that, and then they're paying additional tax on that. So you want them to pay two taxes.
I'm talking about the specific industries which actually the way they're modelled, it's based on capital gains tax, right? So they don't take out money on any, they don't get charged income tax, they get charged capital gains tax on their earnings, which is a 28% level at the moment compared to 45% if you're a higher rate payer. I think you should equalise the tax base and be fair, right? This guy, look, I don't believe, by the way...
None of my viewers are having any of me.
I don't believe...
Not having any of what I'm saying.
But I also don't believe this is a moral issue in the sense that we should be dictating
to take over the show, then.
I don't believe we should be saying to Chris Hone, you know, this is immoral. No. He's an entrepreneur. He's made his money. That's fine. I agree with Rutger Bregman, the Dutch economist, who said, let's stop talking about philanthropy. Let's just start talking about taxes properly. And he's from the left. I'm not from the left.
If he's part of a society...
Of course.
If Chris Hone's part of a society, he'll want to pay his fair share to the NHS.
Well, Andrew,
so the nurses can get paid
Andrew's emailed in. I've got to say, I am definitely in the minority. Luckily for me, I can handle that. I'm fine. But I am definitely in the minority, not just on the panel, but with you guys at home. You're saying, Michelle, are you telling me it's OK for a teacher to pay 55% tax, but not for a billionaire to pay 60%? No, Andrew, I'm not saying that. Firstly, teachers don't pay 55% income tax. Nobody does. And secondly, you know, when you all start talking about, let's stick a 60% tax rate on, no offence, but I think you're deluded. Because if you think a billionaire is going to sit there and say, I'll tell you what, I'll stay registered in the UK and I'll pay 60% of my earnings, as opposed to, I don't know, basing myself wherever that has a zero tax rate, you're deluded. So then all you'll do is you'll just actually get zero tax revenue as opposed to the portion that you currently get.
Yeah, but they already do that, Michelle. And Monaco's full of people like that who already are at the current rate of 45%. They want to pay 45 because it's too high for them. So I mean, loads of people are doing that already, right?
And by the way, it's worth saying that this fella as well is one of the UK's biggest philanthropists as well. I celebrate success. I want more of it. And I also, by the way, would like to see nurses being paid better, and in fact the lower paid in society being paid better overall. They're not mutually exclusive in mind. You can celebrate success whilst equally
but how, Michelle?
I don't know. We'll have to...
You have to raise taxes or borrow more, and you can't borrow more in rising interest rate environments. You've got to tax people more.